Good day, gentlemen and ladies. The subject of my video will be regarding my backhoe, which is a 23B, like Bravo, from Mahindra. Alright, it's made by TYM, and I show you why winter time is the best time to do maintenance on them, and that's applied to a lot of backhoes owner. All right, stick around. Cheers. All right, folks, as you know, all my subscriber knows, I had a problem with my main controls manifold. What I mean my manifold is all the valve. This valve here, which is keeping in that position, there's a long tube in the back here, which I'm pointing. It's hard to see, but that tube basically, I don't know if I have a flashlight, these flashlight. You see what I'm pointing? The shiny part here, it was completely one bolt was loose, the other one was half loose, and that rod was moving on the side. And that's something I made a video that they asked us to do a visual inspection, but I never removed that panel here. As you see, that's the panel right there I have. All right, and over the years that rod start to bend, and I start to create a leak, and then I disconnect everything, send it for repair, and I have 2 videos on that. You're gonna see it, and I have a 3rd video saying that if you bring your like this and it's going it's not, it's a sign there's something loose on your connecting rod. The plunger in the back right here, it's a sign. All right, so the purpose of this video is, since then, that's 2 years ago, every winter time I remove that protective plate, and I check all the bolt, the loose. You see the wrench here, 22 millimeter. That's I check the connecting hose. This is the input, the output hose, input hose. Just I don't remember, but I check all the connection here. I'm pointing at on each side. Then, woohoo! You see it live, and then I check all the hoses there. Same thing in the under. You can go on the other side like this. Me, I go between to check if everything is tight. And surprisingly, within 2 years. Now, last year, I did the main entrance of my friend, and then I dig a window basement. So I have probably maybe like a total of 10 hours. And these hoses, this one, the one there was, it needed to be retorqued. All right, not crazy torque, but it was starting to get loose. All right, and this is a Kleenex, it's full of hydraulic oil, and I always put it there because it was dripping on that area. Now it's dry because I already torqued the hose on static. All right, but it was leaking in static. So this static means that it was not connected on the tractor. All right, so this is a good advice for you folks, and check if everything is tight. And same thing in the back, each valve housing. All right, this is the valve housing there. All right, hydraulic control valve. All right, this is the entrance. It go like this. All right, check upper, and I'm gonna try to find a way. Oh boy, yeah, my light is bad, but under here, all right, there's all so that's an Allen key. And the best way, I have my lawnmower, but if you go on that side here, all right, you can have access to under on this side. So and this is you always check the valve. Here, by the way, I lubricate them with silicone, the same silicone that I use for spraying my seat belt on my tractor. All right. Now, other than that, then I clean all the cylinders. All right, I oil the feet, everything. I check the tightness of all the connecting hoses. All right, the bolt here for the foot. All right, then I grease everything. All right, all the zerk, especially the zerk, that one, I'm just gonna point it. That's the one in the back. This one is tough going when it's installed on the tractor, but it's visible. Then I grease all the grease zerk, like you see. I'm quite generous. And also I inspect my my best friend Joe conceived that, created that, made it. This is my thumb, mechanical thumb. Then, you know the teeth under your bucket, I check for the bolt if everything is not in good shape. All the connecting holes, the bracket there, the bolt, all right. These bolt here, that's something I check if everything is tied up, okay. And what else? I check the link here, okay, for wear and tear. Same thing on the other side, okay. The only thing also I check, it's the connecting point here. That's my rear backhoe connecting, all right. This is the lower portion with it hook, and then I pass the pin. I check everything if it's there, a crack or something like that. And winter time, it's the best time because like it's in the corner of my garage. If you don't have a garage though, it's do it at fall time or before using it at springtime. But if it's outside, please cover it with oil, okay. It's very important because you want it to have worked it. Same thing with the hoses there. I spray them with silicone, so the silicone will help to keep the hoses flexible, all right. Right now that Kleenex has been there, the tissue there has been there for 1 month, and I don't have any more leaks. But this was previous, so it was leaking on static. So like I told you, I found 3 connecting hose loose, all right, and that was a sign. And yes, the vibration make the hoses getting loose, okay. It's also a great time if you want to do a modification on your backhoe, but take the time, it's worth it, because it's all about safety, okay. You look at the control, if everything is well tight, okay. It's a safety aspect of it. Just to give you another point of view, the importance of keeping your things oily. You see, this is my snowboard. We're what are we today? We're the 10th of February. I'm gonna publish that video tomorrow night. But look at my snowboard. There's not a speck of rust. Why? Because I keep it oily. All right. I do the same thing inside too. Inside though, I use a PAM sprayer. You know, the cooking sprayer. It worked good because it doesn't contaminate the ground. When I was living in Sheffield, that's what I was to do too. I use also the same oil. And every time that I'm talking about oil, there's someone asking me, Dave, what type of oil you're using for? This is a non-soaping oil. It's a heavy-duty engine oil, all right. It's a CEA 30, all right. And that oil, it's good for, I don't have my glasses, but anyway, against corrosion, wear, and protecting against various elements, okay. And my snowblower is the perfect example. I have no rust. The turret is oily. Look at that. You can hear the oil there. Everything I put oil. I put lithium grease there too to have a better wear. All right. So that gives you an example that why it's so important to cover it with oil. This is exposed to salt too. And mine is not a hydraulic, it's electric, so it's very weak. It's electric engine, it's strong, but less strong than hydraulic cylinder. So I need to keep it oily and good in good order, okay? Just a quick glimpse. We're in the mid-winter. Look at your filter, all right? These filter, they're still the same color than when I install it. It's clean. I'm gonna go a close view. Clean. I have no depot on the bottom. Same color, very clean. It's been 2 years now. I have the other filter. I have to go through here, but it's the same thing too. This the primary filter. And this is a big warning, if your filter start to change color, going dark, within weeks after you have a problem. I forget the name, but there's a, I mentioned that there's a gentleman, purple color. He's making a video. He said, you know, I changed my filter within weeks, and I told him, I said, oh boy, you have a problem. It's not supposed to be like that. Mine, like you see, I use a diesel winter and summer diesel. I have that tractor. It will be 8 years now. I only changed twice, but it's just because of the time, not because I pre-filter my diesel too. But in this case, what I suspect is there's algae, there's a living organism living in the fuel tank, and that it's happening also in the aircraft world. We have various problems with high humidity or rain, and sometimes we have to dry up the tank, wash it, because we have that problem of algae. It's you know, it's growing. It's a organism growing inside the humidity of the diesel or the jet fuel aircraft, kerosene aircraft. All right. So if you install a new diesel filter, the secondary and the primary, and start to have black, I tell you that you have a problem inside your fuel tank. Or change, well, first change the place where you fill up your diesel, because the diesel where you and that's why it's so important to have the right place with a high volume change diesel. And also start to ask your dealer, how do I clean my diesel filter, diesel tank, because you have that problem. And that will occur most of the time with old tractors. It doesn't mind what kind of it, like it could be a green or red or orange or a blue, you know, all those colors. But if your diesel filter start to go black or grayish, there's something growing inside your diesel fuel tank. All right, this is a word of advice. I saw that happening on some old tractors. It's only happening on diesel, by the way. Fuel, it's corrosion. You're gonna see fuel tank, it's corrosion, because fuel, it's a cleaner. Diesel, it's a lubricant. Okay, so you have less. That's why you have so much video saying old tanks, old diesel engine starting, because the inside the piston, it's all diesel, so it doesn't corrode as much. All right. Now, going to my main subject about my backhoe, please do take the time also to check for wear and tear. When you lift your backhoe and you shake it left to right, okay, if it's really loose, all right, that's a sign of wear from your hydraulics, all right. Like on the backhoe here, the point here, all right, the pin, you should inspect the pin if it's wear and tear. From left to right, I just showed that, but up and down, there's shims on each side here. Look at the shim if it's start to wear, and that's why these shim can be changed also, okay? So a backhoe, it should be tight. You move the control left to some extent. Mine is, you know what I mean, but if it's starting to get too loose, look at your pins. The pins, I'm talking here, all right? The shims, that's the shiny part here, and same thing at the hydraulic connection. This is hydraulic connection. Look at the pin here, that could be shown of wear and tear. Now here, it's quite a spacey place. It's just for lifting, all right? But if you have, when you grease it, all right, you should have grease coming up on the outside, and that's why I showed that to you, okay? This one, I'm almost tempted to put shim on each side, okay? But it's something you may consider doing it, all right? and wear also for the wear and tear, like the hoses there, since they were bragging left and right, I put scuff pad under it, and it works very, very good. All right, the scuff pads are wearing down, it could be changed. The protective gain is tougher to change. You have to remove the hydraulic and stuff like that, or you can put something else, like a rubbing tape, something like that. All right, so I hope this video has been helpful for you. All right, it's a small video. I've been talking since 15 minutes now, but it's very important for you to do a regular maintenance. Same thing with your sub compact tractor. We're in middle of winter. Check for if your chains already. I made a video about the midwinter inspection, but keep your things oily, greasy. Do your regular oil change, use the proper fuel and proper visual inspection. These toys are not they're not cheap. All right, they're expensive, but if you have any question how I like my backhoe, I'm in love with it. It's very useful, trust me. My good friend Joe also had the chance to play with it a few years back. Now cannot believe I'm already 5 years now up here. Like wow, time just went like that fast. I still remember when Joe was bringing me here with his SUV, my tractor, and I rent a truck for bringing or something else. Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but yeah, time go fast. All right, so thank you very kindly for all your standing support, to subscribe to my channel too, and yes. Before that, don't forget to grease your PTO shaft on your snowblower. It's 8 hours maintenance, and it's very important. I saw so many drive shaft PTO, like the snowblower company. I saw one going poof, and trust me, I look at the bearing, it was bone dry. So yes, it's important to keep it greasy. All right. So again, thank you very kindly for all your support, and remember, folks. All right, life is very good. Cheers.